guest today, so bear with me. Hi, Melanie. I see you already on Clubhouse. Greetings to everyone. This is Coach Toyin. Today, I'm diving deeper into spirituality, faith, and business, something that we rarely talk about. So, the world of business, particularly after COVID, right? There's been incredible shifts in the world, not just external shifts, but actually also we all have been disrupted in ways that are non-physical, right? And the world of business is also shifting as well, because when humans shift, systems have to really also come along the journey, right? So when you think about the sales cycle, marketing, the world of business, everything right now is changing, right? So whether you're an entrepreneur or a business owner or even a Fortune 500 company, right? There's a sensitivity to changing behavior, whether for your staff, right, your employees, or your customers or your vendors, is that collectively as a society, really there are shifts that goes just beyond just physical, right? So I'm going to dive into that. What does it mean? Also in the concept of entrepreneurship, business development, what do we do? Because previously, right, before COVID, right, the world of business was quite technical, quite rigid, quite, right? Because I know, because I served at the headquarters of Fortune 1. So when it comes to retail and sales, it was really more of pushing things on people, like, centralized strategies being pushed down, right? Like we know best. Central intelligence knows best. We get to dictate to the world who they need to be, what they need to buy, how they need to show up, right? Identity being shaped by culture, on and on and on, right? But 2020 gave the world, in a way, a moment of reflection, a moment to reflect, to think clearly, think deeply about the choices we're making, why we're making those choices, and what's influencing us in making those choices, right? And coming out of that, people are now trying to make a decision, right? Because now you have options. You don't have to go into the programming, you know, in terms of what government tells you to do, what community tells you to do, what culture tells you to do, on and on and on, right? Is that people are now conscious, right? There's more consciousness now. Okay. There's more consciousness around decision making versus the programming, the autopilot that we all were pushed into. Like, this is what's expected of you. Go to school, right? Do this and then get this job and then stay there forever. All and on and on and on. We were all living out that programming because we didn't know there were options, there were alternatives, right? And so the whole world right now is grappling with, decision making, right? We're trying to think through how we make decisions. And then within the world of business, how do you react to that? Hopefully you're not in denial that something has changed, right? Hopefully we're embracing and we're coming to this realization that there's a consciousness shift in the marketplace, that humanity has been disrupted in such a way that is non-physical but is deeper. And in a way, there's also soul level conversations that is being had, right? Previously we were so disconnected with our right, with our souls, right? We're so programmed externally, right? Decision making was purely primarily tuned towards external forces, right? Pleasing people, on and on and on. This stuff really resulted in a lot of dysfunctional dysfunctionality in humanity, in a way. And so this is a moment where we're all trying to recalibrate, right? We're all trying to recalibrate, like what really is, really, why am I here, what am I here for, where, how do I spend my time, energy, and resources, right? On and on and on. So these things are going on in everybody's mind, at least in mine and the people, the community that I lead, right? Even as I lead and coach entrepreneurs and business owners through the lens of marketing, branding, sales, and all of these things, you cannot ignore that the rhythm and the conversations that your clients and customers are having, what they are asking for, is so much more different than previously, right? So in a way, you also have to look at your products and services. What does value really mean? So value management, right? The concept of value, what people used to value versus what they're valuing, right now. It's also influencing what they're ready to invest financially in, right? So what people where people are spending money, what they are deciding to prioritize is also shifting. So what's causing this shift is also a moment where people are now listening, not just to external voices, not just to media, but now hopefully they're spending more time with their own hearts, right? Happiness, right? The pursuit of happiness. Happiness, what does it mean? What does success even mean? Is it through external vices, the look of success, or success being peace of mind, health, wealth, family, right? Because success, the pursuit of success or semblance of success or the look of success was something that was externally oriented, right? Before. But right now, through that recalibration, people are saying, wait a minute, there's a side of success that I need to pursue that is non-physical, right? Non-physical success, the ones you cannot see. And I've known that. Many people have known that before, but there's an awakening, the mass awakening of society towards true meaning of success, right? Now, when it comes to self-actualization, right, there's now a mass awakening that people are now in pursuit of self-expression, self-actualization, right, moving beyond just survival. So in a way, your product and services also has to catch up with that true meaning, right? People are not just buying, oh, product and services. Well, you have to now describe, okay, this product and services, you have to give it meaning, a meaning that is deeply connected to the soul search, what people's soul are searching for, not just what their physical senses are needing. Because the five physical senses has led people and continues to lead people, right, to make purchase decisions, right? Look good, sight, sound, smell, right? Feel, right? Taste. We continue to make decisions that pleasure the five senses. But now the awakening is also now leading people to go deeper into the desires of the heart, the desires of the soul. And people are now making investments that are more soul oriented than just physical orientation, right? So in the previous world, when it comes to marketing, marketing was geared towards emotion that is suiting to, right, look good, smell good. And we continue, definitely, as humans, right, we continue to pleasure ourselves. Food is important, clothing is important, like how we look, how we smell, right? This is part of being, right, human. We value those things. But there's a new rising, okay, there's something new rising within us that is also in a way fueling the coaching industry in a way where people want so much more than just physical pleasures, right? We want to be happy, you want to be free, you want to be at peace, right? You want wealth that goes beyond just monetary terms, right? You also notice that experiences, people are spending more money in experiential, right? Experiences, vacations, right? Versus that's so you, if you're a business owner, if you're you really need to pay attention to this global shift, right? Whereas certain generation prioritize, okay, buying a house, buying this, buying that. There's a new rise in the new generation where they're saying, you know what, the same investment that previous generations would have made in certain types of purchases, they're really moving that level of investment into experiences with family, with friends, on and on and on. What is driving this shift? What is driving this shift? And I want to welcome those who are joining. Feel free to join. If you have a question, you can type it. Let us know where you're joining from. If you want to engage, definitely I'll read your questions. So thank you, everybody, joining. So when it comes to spirituality, let's agree on one thing, that there are sides of us that are non-physical. Can we just learn that? That there are sides of you nobody can touch physically, beyond your organs, beyond your physical being. That there's a side of you, your mind, your emotions, right? Your energy, right? What I call your wiring. That there's a side of you that goes beyond the physical realm. Can we agree on that? Because these are the conversations that has never gone mainstream in a way in certain circles, in certain communities, definitely in religious circles, right, we've gone through that. But this is going to be something the business world, the business community has to confront now going forward, right? Because there's a side of us that is non-physical, right? The mind, the soul, the heart, the emotions, the spirit, on and on and on, right? And in a way, society was organized, right? Primarily for physical sustenance, food, clothing, shelter, right? Food, clothing, shelter, well being through that dimension. But in a way now, self actualization, okay, is a push. Any awakening, anytime anybody awakens and wants more and desires more than the basic food, clothing, shelter, okay, the day you wake up, because the programming says seek food, clothing, shelter for your survival, right? The entire education system, the society, culture is organized around the pursuit of survival. When an individual awakens and says, I want more than survival, I believe there's so much more that I can contribute towards or that I can obtain in reality that goes beyond food, clothing, shelter, that means we now start pursuing something greater than food, clothing, shelter. Belonging, community, contribution, productivity, creativity, innovation, right? There's now a mass awakening towards that, right? Because as long as food, clothing, shelter is what you're holding on tight to, you are in survival mode. That fear factor of losing food, clothing, shelter. Okay? It's a fear factor. It's real. It's dynamic. Society has been organized around that. So not never to be discounted because there's actually fear tied to escaping that. Okay? So the world of entrepreneurship, in a way, business development, is really those who escape survival are the only ones that can do this work. That's what I've seen. Because as long as you're holding on tight, one leg here, one leg here, you're not giving your full energy, your full power, your full focus towards the pursuit of self-actualization. It's like one leg here, right? And then you're like, and I see this as I coach people, as I coach individuals, right? As I consult on and on, I see this, that once you're striving, right, creativity, to create in reality what you see in your mind. And I say an idea, businesses are built on ideas, really, and ideas are spiritual gifts because you can't see it, right? You can't touch it, but it's real, right? Ideas are real to the bearer, right? Within you, you carry ideas, hopes, dreams, aspirations, right? Non-physical, but manifestation is tied to your own belief system, your own way of thinking, your own behavior, how you're going to put all of those things together to produce. In a way, I say cook, right? It's like the ingredients. You're going to gather the ingredients, the right ingredients. You're going to mix it all together, the right recipe. You're going to mix it all together to create the food you want to eat. That's manifestation. Is that when you decide that what you're eating right now, the reality for your life right now, you want something different and you're willing to disrupt the now for the future. And you're ready to put your mind to work, your energy to work, your thoughts, behavior, actions to produce, to create the alternative outcome for yourself. That's manifestation. It's not just wishing and hoping. It's a deliberate attempt through thinking, belief, actions, behavior in support and alignment of where you're going. It's deliberate, it's action oriented, right? So when it starts with idea, this journey starts with idea. And ideas are spiritual gifts. Because you can't see it, you can't touch it. Our attempt, though, is to express it. It wants to gain expression in reality in the physical order, right? So businesses really is a quest to build structure around an idea, right? an idea that promises you something. It promises the world something, it promises you something. And so when you believe, right, when you talk about faith, listen, guys, risk taking belief is a part of all of this journey, right? Your own belief system, whatever you believe is what you manifest. Whatever you think, thinking is also part of the process. Whatever you think, you become, right? So when it comes to people not spending enough time nurturing their minds, their hearts, their soul, their energy towards belief, towards faith, towards actualization, towards manifestation, in a way you settle for reality. But here's also the interesting thing: the current reality was also a product of your belief. You've done this before. If you went to school, you got a degree, you got a job, you've practiced manifestation before. You invested time, energy, and resources in pursuit of the current life. And all I'm just saying is, I'm reminding people you're going to need to do it again the day you want to create a new reality. Right? And this journey, this quest, you're going to do it better, faster. You're going to achieve your results sooner if you start taking note of your own belief system. When you start auditing your thoughts, right? The concept of quantum leap is also putting yourself, realizing that you're a creator. And part of creation at the quantum level is non-physical. The non-physical influences, directs, organizes the physical realm. So when you don't see the power in your thoughts, the power in your beliefs, and you think the physical is dictating, then you've missed. We've this order. We need to change it pretty much. You have to change it because your thoughts are powerful. Your belief system. Listen, and when we start talking about personal development, all of these things, positivity, on and on and on, is you realizing that the non-physical side of you creates the physical side of you. So the work is why I talk about with my students and clients. The inner work is non-physical. The inner work is non-physical. So whether you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, this is now the work. Those who achieve the heights of success across industries, trust me, is because they've connected with the non-physical side of them. Why do you want to win? Why do you want to be a champion? Why do you want to achieve success? Why? You soon realize that what motivates most people, they are their thoughts. Whether thoughts of avoidance or thoughts of pursuit or desires, hopes, dreams, aspirations. These things move us to take action. Our beliefs moves us to take actions, right? So these things are already there. We're already wired, whether you know it or not. But the conscious applications of this principle will get you faster results. It's happening already. The laws of sowing and reaping, there are laws, there are principles that are already in effect. But once you enlighten yourself about those principles, about those laws, then you can use them to accelerate your own success achievement. Ignorance about them leaves you, right, survival mode. But trust me, enlightenment into the spiritual side of you, the spiritual order, right? Faith believes the role it plays in reality, in manifestation and reality and experiences. When you educate yourself, right? When you decide to educate yourself in this dimension, you will start accelerating, you start achieving results that, right, is not typical, that people, maybe it takes them 20 years, 30 years to achieve. Once you start playing more and understanding your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, right, your behavior, your character, your identity, all of this internal work, when you start seeing their power, and then you start taking charge and you start auditing yourself And in a conscious way, you start programming yourself to function in alignment with the reality you want. You start achieving quantum results. Because creation at the non-physical level, right, will speed up success. So how do we go into this form of enlightenment? It's all about education exposure, right? So in my school, that's why my school is not just designed towards IQ only. We talk about emotional intelligence, spiritual psychology, soul alignment, right? We go deeper into behavior, right? Beliefs, right? Character building, because all this is 360 development of the entrepreneur, right? The entrepreneur. If you develop yourself within this 360 approach, listen, you will speed up success for yourself, guaranteed, right? It's not enough to say marketing, sales, on and on and on, right? Is that at the creation quantum layer, your own creative power is activated within you in form of thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, identity, non-physical. Your own creative force will be unleashed when you start seeing the power of the non-physical side of you. And trust me, religious practices comes from that understanding as well. But we've not made the connection, right? Typically in the world of business, right? Entrepreneurship, we've not made the connection. So on one hand, people would say, "Oh, yes, 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 I'm a Christian, I'm this, and that." But trust me, if you don't apply those beliefs, because if you say you're a Christian, for example, and you know Jesus said all things are possible to them that believe. You know that knowledge, IQ. IQ may know this, right? So you read it that says all things are possible to them that believe. You can store that information, right, in your mind, IQ. But trust me, until it drops into something else, into your art space, and you believe it, it will not, you are not using it yet. So there are many things we know in theory, we now need to put into practical. So there are spiritual principles that you know in theory, you've read it, right? Your mind has captured that information, but revelation, right? Manifestation is the practical side of putting this into practice. You know the laws of sowing and reaping. But trust me, if you don't plant a seed, you're not reaping, right? The physical realm says sowing, farming. You plant melon, you have to physically, in practical terms, for you to see that harvest. It's not enough to know the theory of agriculture. You can know the theory of many things. Oh, yes, if I plant, I will reap. If. But the day you want to manifest in that order, the day you want to belong, the day you want to see the reality of that principle for yourself, what it means is you have to engage in practical ways. Okay, you have to engage with that principle. So that's what's going on. Is that there are many things held in theory as a storage, but now you need to open and start implementing if you ever want to see those thoughts in reality. So there's the thoughts, there's the IQ, which is why the traditional education system teaches us how to gather knowledge, information, store it up. But trust me, you now have to put it at the, you have to mix it up with faith, you have to mix it up with belief for you to show up. And business is that way, entrepreneurship is that way. If you're not ready to take risk, if you're not ready to believe, if you're only governed by physical, the five human senses, then you're not ready to do this work. Right? You know, because it's what we talk about, risk management, all of those things, is that your feelings about the future has to be positive for you to invest in that future, right? The future you want, the future you believe in is the one you invest in, right? But if you want the future to look like the present, then you do nothing. Don't change anything. Trust me, the next year would arrive and the next year will look like this year. Because you are the one to rewrite, to shift, right? A year, time is just time. What you do with time, within time, the effort you apply, the energy you bring into time, into now, is what creates a new reality. So if you keep doing the same thing, you keep seeing the same thing, right? And so I see a lot of times where people want to eat their cake and have it. You don't want to change, yet you want new results. You don't want to change, yet you want new results. Nothing will change if you don't change. So I'm going to stop there for today, just as an introduction. Wow. Let me know your thoughts. There's a whole lot more in my school, diving deeper into the creator method, the abundant life, right? EQ, business skills, branding, marketing. Listen, I go hardcore. I served as a strategist to Fortune 1, retail, all of those. There are so many hardcore. In fact, that's where I started from, teaching advanced business skills, right? International trade development, right? Business model, all right. I started in the technical advanced, but here's what I realized. The problem people are facing today is not that. That's not really the core. Information is abundant. What is missing, right, is this inner work. Because I say, listen, if you give advanced methodologies to immature, right, it's like giving a car to a 5-year-old. They can't use it. Why? Because they've not matured, right? So when you talk about marketing, sales, if you don't mature your own voice, your own self-expression, no matter what somebody teaches you technically, you're not going to show up for it. Right? If you don't have confidence, if you don't have belief, if you don't believe in yourself, you can't convince somebody else to invest in you. So what I've realized over the years, and this is why I've developed an entire curriculum to support the technical side of business for my students and clients, is because everybody can access certain technical things, but what people are not accessing is their own soul alignment, maturing yourself, working on you. That's the only way we get to achieve and unlock the wealth within you as well. So that's why I do what I do. It's not just technical. Trust me. I train government. I train, listen, at the highest levels in the world of business, in the world of government. That's where I engage. But trust me, what I'm saying is if you don't self-actualize, if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't prioritize what's going on within you, if you don't clear the noise, if you don't take charge of your thoughts, of your belief system, right? By the way, those things have been programmed. So you have to delete what I call the viruses, and you have to plant your own new way of thinking, being, right? You have to shift identity. You have to shift at the identity layer. You have to become the person that can pursue everything you want for yourself. If you do that, then you will get it. But if you don't, right, all things are possible to them that believe. Thank you so much for today. I'm going to wrap it up. Reach out to, check out toyinumesiri.com. For the school, check out toyinumesiri.academy. Tons of resources to help you accelerate your journey to success. It's time for you to quantum leap. Bye for now.